he activated the plasma hole so he can get the Ryzeal detonator attached to the dual drive so it wouldn't be negated via the Called by the Grave. But now we get to summon Detonator, so did he just kind of cook himself there? All right, big dogs, GB Smokey is going to be sharing with us a replay, and it is crazy, guys. We're going to be watching the new Ryzeal. And in case you guys didn't know, I have a Ryzeal video telling you everything you need to know about the deck. Master Duel players are actually doing it a little bit differently than what we do in the TCG, which is actually really cool. I kind of predicted that, and there's a card that I talked about in that video that I said was going to be probably really strong in Master Duel that I'm pretty happy that they're doing it. But let's go ahead and jump on in. This may not look like full Ryzeal combo, but unfortunately, due to this deck, it is full Ryzeal combo, just giving you guys the heads up. And I'm going to show you how. We're going to open up with Valor, Ogre, Slayer, 7th Tachyon, cross out, activating 7th Tachyon, revealing the Star Seraph. Our opponent activates Fubulos. We let that ride, but then they activate Maxi. Crazy. So we're going to use cross out Detonator declaring the Maxi. Keep in mind, our opponent will draw every time we special summon from the deck. We're going to get X Ryzeal to our hand by revealing the Masquerade. And then we'll send Myriologic Aggregator to the graveyard to special summon X. We'll then summon Sword to be able to get Ice to our hand. And this is something that they're doing different. We're going to Exceed summon into Infernal Flame Banshee. Now, why are we doing this different? Well, because there's Ash Blossom, there's Effect Valor still in this format. People are going to start playing Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit. There are quite a few monster effects that you can dodge by summoning Infernal Flame Banshee here. And I'll explain. Infernal Flame Banshee allows us to be able to detach a material to add Star Ryzeal from our decks to our hand. We then detach the other material to get the other Star Ryzeal, or to summon Star Ryzeal and set one Ryzeal card from our deck to our side of the field in Ryzeal Cross. We activate Ryzeal Cross, special summon Sword, or normal summon Ice Ryzeal, don't use its effect, and then exit summon into Duo Drive. This insulates our Ryzeal Duo Drive, meaning that our opponent can't Ash it, they can't Valor it, they can't respond to this card because Ryzeal Cross will negate on the resolution of the card effect. I think it's pure genius, but it also just goes to show that Nibiru is not a real card in Master Duel, chat. No one respects Nibiru in Master Duel, so you definitely 1000% should be playing Nibiru because this gets cooked by Nibiru, okay? We'll activate Duo Drive to attach a material. Then we use Duo Drive's effect to detach two materials. Our opponent will attempt to Ash Blossom here. Are we talking about pros and cons of Ryzeal? No, we're going over a gameplay. This is going to go on YouTube. But now we get to detach a material, and keep in mind, you get to negate on resolution, so it's nothing they can really do about that. We then activate Ryzeal Cross, summon Node Ryzeal. We use Node to send the Banshee to summon back Star, which is another reason to make the Banshee. We make Ryzeal Detonator to our side of the field, which can attach another material. It attaches the Myriologic Aggregator that we sent previously, meaning that this particular Ryzeal Detonator can destroy 3 cards and negate 1 face-up card on the field. Our opponent starts off with Ice to summon X. X to be able to get Node to their hand. Yes, get pizza for dinner. What are you talking about, brother? Every time. We then make Ryzeal Detonator ourselves. Okay, why didn't we make our Ryzeal Duo Drive? The problem here is, so like when we're going second into Ryzeal, when we're playing Ryzeal, if we don't have any answers for Detonator, Detonator cooks Duo Drive. If you can get rid of Duo Drive when it activates its effect, it actually detaches the material at the end of its effect. And if it can't detach any materials, it can't add. So you kind of have to go into Detonator to respond. So we activate Detonator in response to Effect Valor. And that just means our Ryzeal Cross can negate their Detonator. They can't set up with their Ryzeal Cross unless they already have one. But even if they do, we can Detonator destroy a card on the field. Which just so happens to be their Detonator. And keep in mind, wait, what? Wouldn't it have been smarter for us to triple Tactics Talent before activating Ryzeal Cross? Oh, I'm so confused, man. Our opponent then tries to get back in the game with Ryzeal Cross. We Ghost Ogre that. Don't even use our last Detonator material. Then they follow up with Sword Ryzeal to be able to get Ice Ryzeal to their hand. Special summon Node Ryzeal to their side of the field to bring out Ryzeal Detonator. Then use Detonator to crash into the Detonator and we detach a material. Mimigul Yummy is the next threat? Bro, stop. But this is actually a really good answer to Ryzeal. Detonator is 3,000 attack, so Superstar Slayer is actually the perfect card to get rid of Ryzeal Detonator. I think that this card should be in just about every single person's extra deck from here on out, just because of how easy it is to get rid of that card. We'll attack for 2,900 damage. And now it's our Ryzeal player's turn, who just so happens to be playing Fiendsmith. They're going to go into Requiem and try to go into this entire line. We Ash Blossom the Requiem, or the Tract. Requiem? My fault, Requiem. They cross out, we Cold Buy. Crazy. But now Sword gets us into our X. You can kind of consider that as pretty much bait for what we were doing. We'll activate Ryzeal plugin to be able to summon out our Detonator, which still puts our opponent in a really bad spot, because if we go on a dual drive, Detonator checks the dual drive. We'll summon our own Detonator here, use this effect to be able to talk to the Aggravator. Attack into their Detonator, they both get protected. And keep in mind, it seems like we're trying to proc up the Sky Crisis to our advantage, because they can't stop us unless we attack, right? So now we're going to use Cross to draw one. He doesn't have access to his Cross. Normal summon Ice Ryzeal and then pretty much see the writing on the wall. Because we can't use Detonator because Star Slayer is on our side of the field, and they can pretty much build whatever board that they like. A lot of times the Ryzeal mirror match is going to be about who can gain more advantage. And if you guys are playing a deck that's not Ryzeal, it's going to be a little bit hard for you to keep up with advantage because this deck gains it for free. Here we go. We have a mirror match here when we're going second playing Ryzeal, and it kind of shows you an appropriate way to play against Ryzeal. We're going to go 7th Ascension to 7th Tachyon. We don't Ash that. You never want to Ash the 7th Tachyon either, right? Your Ash Blossom should pretty much exclusively be used on Ice Ryzeal's normal summoning effect. That's a pretty good time to Ash Blossom. It's because this is a free summon from the deck, guys. So, like, it gets him anything. So you kind of have to respect that card. Another thing would be to Ash, if you can get that far, Duo Drive. But the way that you guys have been playing on Master Duel, we'll never get the opportunity to Ash the Dual Drive. All right, so we go Sword. We then make Infernal Flame Banshee. Banshee then detaches the material to get Star Ryzeal, and now it looks like we have the Ash Insulation. Star Ryzeal then gets us our Ryzeal Cross. Ryzeal Cross, and then we summon X, get the node. Make the dual drive. Now the Ash is useless. We should save it for the next turn, I guess. Maybe even use it for a maxi or something. I don't even know. But getting rid of the material from the Ryzeal dual drive might be it. We'll summon Node and Sword. Bring one back. Exceed summon into Ryzeal Detonator. Detonator attach the Aggregator. Use the Cross to be able to draw one. Summon out again in Daggerus the Timeless. You're going to see a lot of players summon Daggerus the Timeless to get into more cards into their hand. So Daggerus allows them to be able to draw 2 cards as long as they skip their battle phase. They set 2 cards face down and then pass. I smell that they have the Ryzeal hole in play. All right. So we'll start off with Bonfire. Bonfire gets us X Ryzeal. We'll then summon X Ryzeal to negate the Detonator. That's what you guys should do. If you make X Chain Link 2, then the Detonator is going to get away with negating the Aggregator is going to get away with negating the Detonator, but you have to have another card to follow up. Our opponent goes Detonator to destroy itself, Maxi on the opponent, we activate Ash, they then Detonator to detach to destroy the X Ryzeal, negate the Ash Blossom, so Maxi goes through live, and while we did get rid of the Detonator, they kind of Maxied us and insulated it, so we're not in a great position. We'll summon Sword, Ash Blossom the Sword, then Chain Plugin. We'll Cold Buy the Detonator, and they Chain Ryzeal Hole. Such an interesting thing to do here. Ryzeal Plugin targeting Detonator means that our Detonator is not live. And Plasma Hole banishes cards up to the number of Ryzeal, so he gets rid of Sword. But why do that now? Why did he do that now? He should have waited until we made our own dual drive or something, right? We now go Iced, Ice Summon Star. They Valor the Star Ryzeal. Make our own Detonator. How did Detonator get to use its effect? How did it not get banished, guys? Help me out here. Okay, I'm starting to see why he did it. He activated the Plasma Hole so he can get the Ryzeal Detonator attached to the dual drive so it wouldn't be negated via the Called by the Grave. But now we get to summon Detonator, so did he just kind of cook himself there? I think that was like a self-cook. We could have just let that resolve. We make the Detonator. They activate the hole, chain the Detonator to destroy the dual drive, break his board. Yeah, so Plasma Hole dodged Cold By, but your opponent is on Ryzeal too. So if you let Cold By resolve, your opponent can't make Detonator, which breaks your board, and you can keep the Plasma Hole for his 1 Exceed summon. That's why it's like, why'd you do that, brother? Like, maybe there was something I'm missing, because that just felt like an utter flop by the opponent. But it does go to show that there is a skill expression in Ryzeal here, and that games aren't often determined by the card economy that you have. It can be determined by simple mistakes or very smart plays that you make. Let's go ahead and check out the deck profiles of both the Fiendsmith version and a Pure. All right, guys, this is a Fiendsmith Ryzeal version of the deck, guys. The thing to note here is that Fiendsmith Engraver can be let off to stop hand traps or you know, force your opponent to hand trap you. And also when you make DDD Wave King Caesar, you can prevent Nibiru, which means you can do the Banshee line our opponent isn't playing, which is crazy. The Banshee line to stop all the other cards, right? But also, if you don't use certain Ryzeal effects, you won't be locked into Exceed summoning, which means that you can make Exiton Knight to go full Fiendsmith combo and then go Ryzeal combo. It's a higher ceiling Yu-Gi-Oh deck, but you do have to sacrifice more space. This is a more pure version of Ryzeal, which just plays a ton of hand traps and Ryzeal cards. What you lose out is that big opportunity for huge plays, but what you gain in return, you get to play cards like Ultimate Slayer, you get to play Ash Blossom, Ghost Ogre, you get to play more hand traps, and your extra deck is strictly Exceeds, so it does help. Let me know what you guys think. I can't wait to see what you have to say down below in the comment section.